Hey everybody, this is Britt with Vine Dresser Lawn and Landscape, and today we're going to be talking about fall armyworms. Rick Brandenburg from NC State, he's already put out a couple of videos about fall armyworms. And first, before we get started, I want to show you a pretty cool tool off NC Turf Files, NC Turf Bugs, sorry. And I'll leave a link for this in the description of the video. But this is an interactive pest tracking map, and it shows where fall armyworm moths have already been observed in the 2024 season. And so at the Wilmington Municipal Golf Course, in April they saw 2. In May they saw 6. They saw 20 moths. And again in May, 2 and 1. So they've already been spotting them here in Wilmington, and you can see where else they've been spotting fall armyworms. So you can click that link and you can kind of track the armyworms. So what I did was I took 2 articles and condensed them together. One article was off of NC State Turf Files. The other was off of Clemson. I think it's called Home and Garden fact sheet about armyworms. And so put all the information together to make it pretty quick and easy to go through. I got some pictures also so we can look at what an armyworm looks like and then what the damage of armyworms look like. And so we're going to go over the identification, the life cycle, the damage, detection, control, prevention, and then some insecticide options. So identification, fall armyworms are caterpillars. They cause significant damage to turf grass, specifically Bermuda and tall fescue. They're identified by inverted Y on their heads, black stripes along their bodies, and 4 black dots on their dorsal side. Adults are gray moths with white spot on the forewings. So the adult is a moth. The fall armyworm is actually a caterpillar. And so they've got the egg stage, the larva stage, the pupal stage, and we're going to take a look at those. So eggs, so the life cycle. Females can lay up to 1,000 eggs on vegetation or nearby structures. Eggs hatch within 2 to 10 days. So that's what an egg sac, egg mass looks like. And so I've heard, of this being on bushes near the lawn. Have a client who who's spotted the egg masses on some curtains that were outside on her back porch. And so these egg masses, the eggs will hatch, they will turn into larvae. The larvae will drop and they will go find the feeding source. And so it could be your lawn. And so larvae feed voraciously, especially after the 4th stage, consuming over 93% of foliage. And so that is what an armyworm looks like. It's a caterpillar. And then after they've eaten for 2 to 3 weeks, they will pupate in the soil, and so that's what they look like as before they become a moth. And then the last stage is the adult stage. Moths emerge after 10 to 20 days, completing the cycle in about a month. Several generations can occur annually, and so that's what a moth looks like. And so it starts out as a moth. It lays eggs. The eggs turn into the caterpillar pupates, goes back into the moth. And so you think, like lighting outside can attract moths. The moths will then find, I've heard of fence posts. I've heard of, outdoor furniture. Anywhere near the lawn, they're going to lay the eggs. The eggs are going to hatch. They're going to go into your lawn feed. And then they will go back to pupate and then turn back into a moth. And so damage. Early signs of damage resemble drought stress, wilting. Later stages result in a scorched or scalped appearance as larvae consume green foliage. Damage is more evident in the morning or evening when the larvae are active. And so this is what a lawn looked like. A lady called us up. She did not have service with us yet. She said, I think there's something wrong with my Bermuda grass. As soon as I walked in the backyard, first thing I thought was she's not irrigating the lawn. This is freshly laid sod on a new build. She's not irrigating the lawn. And so then as I start to walk through the lawn, I see thousands and thousands of armyworms, and I said, ma'am, you don't have to go with us, but I'm going to tell you right now, you got armyworms, you need to get treated quick. And so I think like 3 days later, we treated for the armyworms. We used acelepryn, which is a good knockdown plus preventative. We used acelepryn and then 15-0-15 fertilizer to help the grass come back in. And so this is the armyworm damage. This is 14 days later after treatment. The lawn had fully recovered. So that's what armyworm damage looks like. It's going to look like drought stress, wilt stress. You can do a soapy water test. So to detect them, to detect armyworms, you can mix lemon-scented dish detergent with water and pour over a turf section. Armyworms will surface within 10 minutes. You know, this, like, I didn't even need soapy water. As soon as I walked in the backyard and I started walking through it, I just saw them all over the lawn. But if you've got something that looks like drought stress and it's July, August, September time frame, you want to, especially in Bermuda, you'll want to do, if you don't see any caterpillars, you'll still want to do a soapy water test, see if you can bring them up to the soil because it might be armyworms. All right, control. There's two types of control, biological and chemical. Biological control, natural predators can manage populations, but their effectiveness varies with weather conditions. And so I think, like, if it's cool, wet springs, you're going to have less biological control than dry, hot springs. Chemical control. There's effective insecticides, bifenthrin, BT, and a whole list right here. And I can put those in the description of the video as well. So you apply the insecticides when the larvae are small, avoiding irrigation for 24 hours for post-application. For us, we're going to use acelepryn, whether you're looking for preventative measures or whether you have an outbreak. We're going to come out with acelepryn. We can come out with acelepryn and then a 15-0-15 to help the grass fill back in. Prevention is way better than trying to cure it. So I would suggest putting down, a preventative measures July, August time frame, and for high value turf grass, acelepryn G. You don't have to use the granular. You can use the liquid. Liquid's sometimes easier to apply. Granular is going to be easier to apply if you're treating just one lawn, but liquid's going to be way easier to apply if you're treating multiple lawns. And so apply it in July or August offers season long control. So acelepryn will give you up to 90 days. I think at the full rate, it'll give you up to 90 days control. So if you get it down in July, you'll have control July, August, September time frame. If you want to treat it yourself for armyworms. You can go to a hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot, take your pick, and find an insecticide that's labeled for armyworms. And so you'll just read the back of the label. You can read the back of the label and see if it has one of these insecticides as the main ingredient. And then you can open up the label and read and make sure it is labeled for armyworms, and then follow the directions on the back. And so the bottle is going to tell you how much that bottle, it might say it will treat. So the bottle might say it'll treat. And you gotta read the back. Let me back up. You gotta read the back of the label to make sure to see how much square foot it'll treat for armyworms. And so if you're looking for curative measures, read that part of the label. If you're looking for preventative measures, read that part of the label. And so the label will tell you how much square foot that bottle will treat, and then measure the square foot of your turf. And then you'll know how much product that you need to buy at the store and how much product you need to use to cover the lawn. And so here's some insecticide options. Fertilume Broad Spectrum Insecticide Concentrate, Ortho Outdoor Insecticide Insect Killer Concentrate, Ortho Bug Clear Insect Killer for Lawns and Landscapes Concentrate, Bifenthrin Concentrate, Tall Star Concentrate, Bear Bio Advanced 24-hour Lawn Insect Killer, Bear Bio Advanced Complete Insect Killer for soil and turf, Bear Bio Advanced Insect Killer for lawns, Garden Tech 7 insect killer concentrate, Gordon's bug, Spectricide, Trizicide insect killer for lawns and landscape concentrate, Cutter backyard bug control. You can spray this up to 7 times a year. Pretty sure that's what the label said. 7. I was in Lowe's the other day. I'm pretty sure you can spray that up to 7 times a year, and so you could literally spray that on a monthly basis during the summer season. So like April, May, June, July, August, September, October time frame, and knock out most of all your bugs. Bonide Total Pest Control Outdoor Concentrate, Bonide 8 Yard and Garden, and then SC Turf Ornamental Concentrate, Monterey Garden Insect Spray Concentrate, Southern Ag Conserve Natural Light Insect Control Concentrate. And so I hope this helps you out with armyworms. Be on the lookout for them. If you see tons of birds, black crows in your front yard, that could be a sign. If your grass looks like it's if you're watering regularly and yet it still looks like it's in drought stress, that can also be a sign. Your best bet is to put down preventative, and then you don't have to worry about it. Acelepryn, we can put down a single app of acelepryn, and it'll last up to 3 months, or you can get it on our insecticide program and control all the turf feeding pest. And so this is included in our turf insecticide program. I hope this helps you out. If we can help you out in any way, let us know. Thanks, and have a good day.